Alright, so this is going to be a little bit of a different video, and I realize that most of the folks watching this probably don't want to know how the hamburger is made, but sometimes you have to talk about how the hamburger is made in order to understand why it tastes so good. So stay tuned. Greetings and welcome, this is Jacob with Geeks First, and today I am sitting in, I'll call it my small inventory room, and this is not something that I typically would show on camera, but I feel it is important to just kind of understand why some of my videos might be sporadic and what I am balancing in the process as I continue to try to pump out content, but also work through the logistics of dealing with inventory. What I'm sitting in front of here is probably, give or take, 100 to 150,000 flesh and blood cards, and they are organized. So I have my collectibles, which is my sets that I keep for my own play and basically collection. So this is the crew set here, so there would be cards that are obviously for the crew set. This is an unlimited one. I never was able to really get close to completing a crew first edition set, so I did not deal with that. But basically, I try to get a copy of a regular card and a copy of a foil of that for the set. And then if I am playing that class, I will keep 3 of that card. Everything else turns into inventory that is sitting here. So as an example, these are cards that have been pre-staged as I throw some Bravos and some Katsus on the floor here. All of these cards are first sorted when they come in, and some of them come in through USPS large flat rate boxes. 1,000 count, 6,000 count, 12,000 count, large, medium, you know, small. Sometimes my local guys get me cards. I buy from out of state, everywhere. So I'm essentially currently trying to bulk up inventory so that I can create commoner sets, play sets of cards. I'm helping my local folks out. I'm constantly getting them on the Discord channel here in Indianapolis. I'm getting them the cards that they need, as long as I have them in stock for the most part. And yeah, that's what I've been dealing with. So, you know, every card in this setup, so like I'm going to remove these, but this is all Crucible that needs to be sorted, so I'm going to move that up here for now. This is Arcane Rising, and these are all rares, so everything in this stack is rares, and then some foils that I still need to go through. So I guess that's an incorrect statement because that was a common foil. The methodology here is a little bit complicated because flesh and blood, while it's somewhat easy to sort, it's not necessarily easy to catalog. So once I'm done with this, you'll notice that this box, which is heavy as all get out, looks pretty organized. So that is what the inside of Arcane Rising looks like. And then you'll notice that there are different categories of dividers here, and as I were to look, if I were to pick up this category here, that is going to be Voltic Bolt red, Voltic Bolt yellow, Voltic Bolt blue. So all those in the middle are all Voltic Bolts. And because I am tired of holding this, you'll notice I have my nice little stickers, if it'll autofocus. That shows what I'm looking at. Holy crap. Yeah, these things are not light. They don't like being moved around very much either. The boxes do break down. But what I have done here is spent most of my after hours time for pretty much the last several months sorting, cataloging, and making sure that when I put the inventory online, which is coming shortly again, I paused the inventory because I had a snafu with my former inventory system that I won't get into at this time. But long story short, that was no longer valid anymore, and because of that I couldn't give an accurate count as to what I had, and several kind of negative things happened from that. So I have resolved that situation, and I now have a better situation for inventory. You'll be surprised to know that, you know, this is pretty much, you know, a lot of just super rares from the first couple of sets, and then as I get further out, especially because as I sort bulk, I don't have near as much, pretty much anything past rare. which is funny to most people because, you know, when you think about it, the game, well, Majestics and Legendaries really do constitute probably the best of the best in the class. Commons and Rares truly do, you know, functionally make all sorts of really, you know, good parts of a deck. And now that Commoner is an official format, all this inventory just became much more relevant. And this is not necessarily for the folks that are going to your LGS and purchasing a box, a case, or several cases of those sets, because that is going to be, well, I'm glad I'm recording audio on the camera, because this is what happens when you forget to replace batteries and things. So the LGS folks that are going and buying cases and getting their product, they're going to have most of the commons they need. But in the case of History Pack 1, which is the video that will be coming out here soon, I was able to source, so this is History Pack 1 up here. In one of these boxes, that is quintessentially a case of History Pack 1. And in the next video, that will be coming out very shortly after this, I will be talking about how this is going to work. So stay tuned, because we're going to build some decks with only cards that I was able to get in that one case. Cool stuff. I'm running out of space. Or not. So where was I? We're going to talk about History Pack 1 as I put my batteries back in my H6, because let me tell you, a one-man show is always complicated. And yeah, I'm going to leave this in here because I can't just show all the successes that happen, because then you don't get the raw understanding that it's not just about the presentation of the conversation. But now, click, click, guess what? Guess what? That is how you would synchronize. That is how you would synchronize an audio recorder to a camera without a sync cable. Now this has a line out. I can go into all the video details, but we'll talk about that in more depth in another video. But needless to say, the audio quality should be substantially better at this point. But back on why I'm here. Yeah. So History Pack 1, I want to do a very interesting video because a lot of people are talking about the differences between whether or not History Pack 1 is even viable as a user product for new players, because obviously the old way of doing it was essentially, you know, you had Arcane Rising, you had Welcome to Wrathe, you had Crucible of War. Those three sets, which are combined into the you know, History Pack 1, is essentially the equivalent of, you know, this one case here, History Pack 1. This one case has 4 boxes at an MSRP of $140 a piece. So when you start doing the math on that, basically, just round up to $150 with tax, you're talking $600. That is 6 boxes versus 4 boxes. Now, at the current rate for WTR and the current rate for Crucible, and we'll say Arcane, which is in the middle, you could really buy 3 WTR, probably 2 Arcane Rising, and 1 or 2 Crucible of War. Probably at least guaranteed 2, 2, and 2. You could guarantee buy 6 boxes for the OG stuff, which is still currently, I would say, fairly readily available on TCG Player in your local game store, if they haven't sold out. But even if they haven't sold out completely, there are other unnamed vendors which I do not like, but you can still get it from them. So basically, I want to understand this product. While it is awesome, and I see the need for the product, because face it, once this inventory dries up, and once there is no more bulk to be bought, once the people have ripped through all their boxes, and I basically have no ability to go ring ring person that I know that can get me some product, I need another 50,000 because I've sold through all the commons to everybody who's the new players, because when we get an influx of people, that's inevitably when I see the most transactions occurring, where people will basically order. I mean, it's not that they're ordering 1 or 2 cards. I mean, there are people that still order 1 or 2 cards, but most of the time the orders that are coming in are for stacks of cards that are, you know, 50. Basically, they're buying an entire Commoner Blitz deck, or they're buying the core of the commons and rares for their CC deck. And I see that a lot, basically, especially with the, oh my gosh, with Kano. everybody wants Kano cards now. So I'm running dry on some Kano cards. It is what it is, but you know, everybody, the meta shifts, things like that are going to come and go, but I want to talk mostly about the Flesh and Blood History Pack 1, and that's going to be the next video that's coming up. But I did want to talk to you a little bit about the inventory, why I've been working on this, what I've been doing. Obviously, I'm both trying to run a business, I'm doing my day job, and I'm trying to produce content, so it is all everything at once, and that is why it probably doesn't come off as cohesive as it should. So I am actively working to create better content. I'm actively working to get more content out there, and I don't know if you like this kind of video, but I am all about talking about it. The only other person that I know that is currently dealing with this, but probably on a grander scale, is TCG Bolt King. So shout out to TCG Bolt Kings. I know he has a TCG player account, so you know, if you're looking for stuff right now, he's a good source to get a lot of that stuff from. I'm basically trying to do the same thing, but probably on a little bit of a smaller scale. But I'll tell you, even at the scale that I'm at as a one-man crew, holy crap, it's a lot of work. This is not for the people that just want to, you know, get $100 off every card, because when you're selling this, you know, this Rhinar and Bravo token, that's probably 10 cents, 15 cents. So, making big money with that. So I'm going to go get some tacos from Taco Bell, as Rudy would say. But I think my primary goal here was not necessarily to hold the stuff. This is not Alpha Bulk. This is not, you know, Arcane Rising First Edition or Crucible First Edition. Now I do have Monarch First Edition, and I do have Everfest First Edition, and I do have Tales of Aria First Edition. I don't have a lot of Tales of Aria Unlimited, which is really funny because apparently Tales of Aria Unlimited is a lot harder to come by, and I don't think people have recognized that yet. So I am looking actively for more Tales of Aria Unlimited. Because I need some to fulfill orders. But right now the price discrepancy is not that bad. And yeah, so that's where we're at. I know this is kind of a rambly video, but I just wanted to kind of give you an update. Like I said, I got a lot of things happening, and I really want to do more content. I want to go ahead and try and produce hopefully top quality stuff. I need to really also find my personal niche in the community. I don't know yet what that's going to be. I am a master of all trades, jack of none. No, I'm just kidding. That's wrong. It's backwards. I'm a jack of all trades, master of none. So I feel like I can find my niche. I just have to dive down that rabbit hole and figure out what that's going to be. I'd like to do something that's a little bit different, because I feel that that is going to bring the most value and diversity to the community. I do like spreadsheets and I like numbers, and I think there's a couple of I was just looking at this actually, and you know, there's a lot of Patreons that you can sign up for, but almost all the Flesh and Blood Patreon individuals that are out there, I've subscribed to most of them, and each of them have their own unique kind of niche. So like I said, I'm going to try to, you know, slot myself into finding something interesting that's out there. And until next time, enjoy, and if you have bulk, let me know. I definitely am still looking. I think at a certain point I'm gonna have to stop buying extra, but you know, bulk is bulk. It's like Magic bulk. Got Magic bulk, got Pokemon bulk, got Yu-Gi-Oh bulk, got Dead card game bulk. I got Star Wars the customizable card game bulk, because I played the crap out of that game, and that's still fun, but obviously there's a very smaller audience to buy that. Thanks. Stay tuned for the next video. Jake out. So this is a little bit of a different video, and I get that not everybody wants to know how a hamburger is made, but sometimes you have to talk about the nitty-gritty stuff before you can really talk about the grander scope. Stay tuned.